Okay, let's check if we're streaming. Who am I streaming to? Alright, people, let's get started. So let's spin the wheel on this and check what yes. Much better. Okay. Yes, you could see me. Just some bits. And we're going to be making a money management application because I cannot manage my finances. I'm a dumbass. Sorry, YouTube policies. So for that, I would need to select a API. And the languages I know is Go, Express, and next .NET Framework. Let's see which comes up. I don't want to use .NET Framework because it's just, I've been making a logistics application in that and it's too much work. I really want to go with Express. Maybe I just don't need to do the role. Okay, let's see. Spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel on this, right? Okay, we have this, and let's remove all of this. Let's say express go dot net. If it's .net, I'm just gonna quit the stream. If it's only Express, I would do it, because I got like 4 hours, 3 hours to make everything. Close. I don't need to know whatever this is. Okay, let's spin the wheel. Oh, please, please. Yes, yes, yes. It's Express. We can do it. Express, yeah. Thank you, spin the wheel. Alright. So, how do you create an Express app? That's how it's ChatGPT actually. Or maybe I could just use it from a previous one. I'll use it from a previous one. What was it? VS Code. Yep. I might actually copy the authentication from the previous code. You never know. Yep. There we go. tsconfig ESLint package package.json, I think. How do you create a, let's just look it up actually. Well, we'll keep this for reference. Okay, npm init, yeah, we forgot about that. Put this over here, and if I remember, it was file, open folder, this PC, code bases, production, and let's go. Express Money API. Select this, select folder, and I just asked view terminal. I'm a rusty young noob soft developer, so forgive me. Yep. Why the word shaking? Oh yeah, I really love the .env. What? That was weird. Yes, I would love to know that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, let's try that. Clear. Initialize TypeScript. npm. Oh, yo, oh my days. Let's do ChatGPT. Oh, can't be asked. Wait, hold on, chat. Shall we try it without TypeScript, just for the sake of it? Because I've been using, yeah, the thing is I've been using TypeScript a lot, and I don't think so I should be using it that much. I want to create a .js. Hmm. You know what? Let's create this. Create this ts config. Is linked. Sure. Copy. Paste that package. I honestly need every single thing from here. I think we need to watch some.
Question: Would you build a website for a major brand with more than 200 million users using Wix? Well, we did. Hi, I'm Sivana. I'm an R&D manager here at Wix. Today, I want to show you how we use our own platform, creating some pretty complex functionalities that may surprise you. First, all of our web pages are built on Wix. They get a huge amount of traffic. Users that sign up to Wix come with all kinds of needs and goals. So to match them with the best solutions, we built an onboarding flow on the Wix editor using custom code. We also embedded a web component.
Every few months, I find myself setting up a Node.js.
Let's try Nest. Okay, I'm too excited for that. Get started with Nest. Right on npm ig nest.js CLI. So we're not using Express, we're using Nest now. Delete everything. So we're just installing the Nest.js CLI. Sure about that. I did put the global file. Now Nest new, and let's call it Money API. What the hell, man? Nest new. How to get started with Nest? I just installed npm ig. Okay, now it's working. What the hell? npm. Okay, let's try it from another folder, right? Just to see if the global thing is working. Nest Money API. Select that, select. Yes, sir. Yes, adjust the author view. Terminal. No. npm I Nest new Money API. I'm using npm. My coffee break. Let's see how that goes. I really want to learn Go as well. So how about that? We work on the API up to 12 o'clock, and after 12 to at least 1 or 2, we are going to study Golang, network engineering. Probably the best idea. I feel like I'm talking to myself, mate. It's okay. I chat. Damn. I'm looking at the stream right now. Oh yeah, it's a bit behind. I understand that. Damn. Damn. I'm looking at the stream right now. Oh yeah, it's a bit behind. I understand that. Damn. all right. The Money API is done. Let's just jump into the Money API. Oof. And let's see Nest. Accidentally selected the modules. Right. Now let's get another crash of doing nothing but absolutely something. The app controller. Wait, I gotta open the Nest.js docs over here. And okay, let's do this. No YouTube videos, only documentation, and maybe ChatGPT. Maybe. The project name directly will be created node modules with a few others. App controller. Spec. Export class app controller, and this is a dependency injection. Single route, a unit test for the controller. So spec.ts. I need to understand a bit more on that. The root module of the application. Imports, controller, Grow service.ts. What does the injectable do? Gotta understand that. Service. Async function. Application. So the main file is going to bootstrap the function. So it's going to do nest factory create app modules on port. Sure, okay. Let's okay. The only video that we're allowed to watch is Fireship. Nest.js.
Nest.js is a Node.js framework for building scalable server-side applications with TypeScript. It provides a suite of tools that leverage either Fastify or Express to facilitate rapid development and predictable, readable code. It supports REST and GraphQL APIs out of the box, or you might use it to build a full-stack application using the model view controller pattern, similar to frameworks like Laravel or Ruby on Rails, and it contains a ton of built-in modules to work with databases, handle security, implement streaming, and anything else you can imagine doing in a server-side application. Nest has its own very powerful command line tool, and you can scaffold out a new project with the nest new command. That provides a code base pre-configured with Jest for testing and set up with TypeScript to help us write more readable and reliable code. In the source directory, you'll notice a controller, which is a fundamental building block of the framework. It's responsible for handling incoming HTTP requests and returning responses back to the client. To implement a controller, simply add the controller decorator to a class. Then inside the class, you can implement methods and decorate them with HTTP verbs like get, post, patch, put, etc.
Okay, so if that's the case, it's really that simple. Let's do this, right? Presentation, and in this, I would say that test controller.ts. Okay, let's follow that, right? Demo.controller.ts. Let's be a bit nice. And let's say controller. Sure. Export class app controller. And let's say meow controller. Yeah, we're gonna make a get and a get say hi. That's gonna look like that. Okay, what's the issue of here? Packets first of all. Okay.
By default, this will create an HTTP endpoint on the root URL, but you can pass a string to the decorator to change the route or implement dynamic route parameters. In addition, Nest provides other decorators to control things like the status code and headers. Then in the method itself, parameter decorators can be used to access the request.
And yeah, let's do add the rid of param. Look for ID as a key, or name as a key, and over here let's just say cat slash name. Is that how it works? Name.
Parameters or body. And finally, the return value from the method is the response.
Sure. Return That's a bit. Hey, that's a bit, yeah. Hey, name. Yep. We'll see. Terminate that. Start. Sure. It's on localhost 3000. Where does it say? Postman. localhost 3000 slash and what was it? Name. Oh my days. Name. God. Oh yeah, it was cat. Cat's not found. I wonder why.
Response body that gets sent back down to the client. What's awesome about Nest is that you can use the CLI to automatically generate more controllers to keep your code organized as it grows in complexity. But there's more to Nest than just controllers. A provider is a class that contains shared logic throughout the entire application and can be injected as a dependency.
Right, let's search up making a basic API. Okay. Let's actually read this. Right. Cats get all. Should return a string. Alright, so we could do I need to read up a blog or something for that. Okay, let's do that actually. How to make a REST API with Nest. I'm not watching a 4-hour tutorial. I already know Express. Okay, so we're gonna be creating this on Postgres. Wow. way too much information, homie. I think I'd rather go back to Express. No, it shouldn't be that hard. Okay, let's 1 hour challenge accepted. Let's follow all of this for some reason, but put our own magic on, you know. I'm gonna go to Neon to get the database. Neon DB. Get started. Is it even worth it though? Is it worth the hassle? I don't think so. I doubt that. Let's keep it simple, you know, Express. Express.js. Or shall we learn Python? Oh, I don't know. Right. Making a AP and Express.
In application programming interface, the logo is contained in the request body, which, if you remember from earlier, is a custom data payload contained in the incoming request. In other words, the request object in Express allows us to access information from the request message, like Omnia, and if we send the same exact request, you'll notice.
Right, let's do this right.
If you work in IT, you need a Terra. With remote monitoring and management, remote access, help.
Before it. Today we'll be using Neon for our database. You can see it's a serverless. Do that with your GitHub account in the .env file, and then put this code, and we haven't created it yet, but in the schema.prisma file that's in the Prisma folder. And it allows you to copy all of this code. One thing to note, if you highlight and then Control-C to copy like this, you're going to get these asterisks in here that's hiding my unique value that Prisma init, a file named schema.prisma. You can see in here we've got a generator client defined, and it has a provider value. Then we've got the data source URL value. You can look back what we have here, all provider and a URL. I'm just going to replace is. I've already got us started, so we're on step 2 Prisma file here where they're modeling data. So I wanted you to see this example into space E D, this model, and that's what we want. Now also let's give auto a default, and now that we've defined the enum role, we're now table on our data option. Oh, let me use lowercase npx print in a save those executable data that of course Neon. So input init. This is your typical name for your first migration. So we're saying what the name of the migration is, executing a message that is this migration. Anytime we change our model, we also need to run generate. And I purposely made the name unique because so now that one unique. So let's generate information here. A look at everything that happened here.
You know, let's do this right.
Name unique because so now that one unique. So let's generate information here. A look at everything that happened here.
Right, so what we're gonna be doing now is focusing on nest, because I hope it just makes my life easier in the long run. It's just another framework, it's just another tool, but SJS. Let's go Neon. we're gonna do this. Let's stay motivated, mate. Let's stay motivated. Let's actually use MongoDB because I'm using the only free Prisma. Or let's say free Postgres. Free Post. CockroachDB. What is CockroachDB? Auto scaling. Yeah, let's go MongoDB then. I'm using MongoDB on the cloud actually, just so y'all know. Let's create a cluster. Create the deployment, motorcycles, traffic lights, thank you. All right. For now, I'm gonna create the env database. That's odd. So Mongo DB. I'm just gonna move that for now. Over here. No. No one was there. Anyways. And I'm gonna Control V this. Right. Prisma. Mod. V. Yep, that's the same thing. Okay, let's create the user class. User. Model. User. User. ID. Yes, this thing. This is such a pain in the ass. Control V. Yep, let's do email. First name. First name is string. Password string. And we can add things as we want to, but npx pris gener that's odd. Let's see over here. I forgot how to unpick Prisma DB push. Yeah, I could do that. Let's go to the MongoDB cluster. Let's copy this. Yes, there. Good. Great. Alright. Alright. Shall we follow this guy?
Is it created the employee table, it created the enum, it put a unique index on the name and the email. But the second migration, I'll do another tab, L, and it also has to do with using pooled connections. So let's grab those. You should have saved those all. We now have a Neon database, and we've now integrated Prisma into our Nest.js project. So the next step, window again, and we'll use some commands we have previously learned. We'll say nest g module database. Press enter. This should create a database folder in our source directory, and there it is. And inside we should have a module, and we do. We also need a service, so let's say nest g service database and press enter, and this
I think for some reason I just want to watch this video way more. This guy sounds very nice.
and a database. And I'll provide links to all resources in the description below. I'll also provide a link for you to join my Discord server where you can discuss web development with other students, and you can ask questions that I can answer and receive help from other viewers too. I look forward to seeing you there. This tutorial is lesson 5 of a Nest.js series, and today's starting code is the completed source code from lesson 4. If you haven't watched the previous lesson, there's a link to the playlist for this series in the video description, and I recommend you start at the beginning as each lesson will build on the ones before it. Today we'll be using Neon for our database. You can see it's a serverless Postgres, and it's very easy to work with, and there's good documentation. Likewise, we'll be using Prisma for the ORM. Now, I've had many different requests for database technology and ORM technology as I've been building this series, and there's no way I can make everyone happy. However, I haven't used Neon or Prisma on my YouTube channel yet, and so that's what I'm going to create this tutorial with. Again, there's great documentation, and it will allow us to move forward quickly. Let's start on the neon.tech website today, and I'll have a link to this in the description, and you can see it right up here in the URL bar. And if you want to sign up for a free account at Neon, now I'm going to sign in. I already have an account. You need to use this code that says say put this code right here in the .env file, and then put this code right in the schema.prisma file. It's in the Prisma folder. And it allows you to copy all this code. One thing to note, if you highlight and then control, just go ahead and copy that information, open up a terminal window, and here I'm going to type npm I Prisma folder. This will create the, you can read these, of course, if you want to. I'll go ahead and close that out. Now we see the .env file here. It's got some, we'll leave that one using pool connection, database URL, and the direct count. So I'm just going to control to put in my act with your values. Now here we've got a generate, it's that database URL, and see what we have here, data source, DB, provider URL, and direct URL. We need all of that. So what I can do is copy URL and direct URL and use both of these, or we can just copy all of this, but then of course it copies what's above as well. So provider URL, I'm just going to replace all of that, control V. Now we have direct URL, but the next file was already color coded if yours wasn't. So go ahead and install model data inside of our schema.prisma file. I'm in the Prisma docs, and we're just looking at the quick start here. And I've already got it started, so we're on step 2 of the quick start in the docs. But this shows an example of the schema.prisma file here where they're modeling data. And we're just going to have one model today. But here's a really good example where they have a post that's related back to the user. We're not going to use a relation, but you can see how that is shown here. And you might want to learn more about creating models, and you can do that in the Prisma docs. But in VS Code, I'm going to scroll for just a little bit of room, and we can find our model just below our database. So let's go ahead and say model, employee. And now inside of this, we're going to have an ID. Now let's go ahead and use tabs here just to space everything over, and maybe a couple of tabs. And then it's going to be INT. Now we'll also say, I'll do two more. Change the and we'll also right back to Prisma. So now that we have this, let's go ahead and type npx, or use lowercase npx, Prisma, and then I want migrate. Now here's the value that push a deployment mesh to packages as well. So let's talk about what all this did. After we did that, it ran the migration. It created the SQL file. We don't need to look at the migration log. There's nothing special in there. It just says don't edit this file. But here we have the date, time, and here is a migration.sql file where you can see these SQL statements that were actually executed on our employee table at Neon. So all of this happened. We created that employee table. And of course, it was noted that I was actually changing mine, but that's okay. It applied those changes for me. It created one for you. Now after that, it also did something else. We come back to the terminal and we see added 2 new packages. Well, that's kind of like running an npm install, right? That's essentially what happened because it added the Prisma client package to our project. If we look in here, there's scripts, looks at the dependencies, and now we have the Prisma client package, and we're going to use that as well because it generated a tailored client API based on those models we defined back here in our schema.prisma. So now we have an API that we can reference types for as we use this model and as we use Prisma in our application. I'm going to open the terminal one more time. Let me see if I can find it. It says running generate. Yes, so anytime we change our model, we also need to run generate. And I purposely made the name unique because I'm going to change that, and I wanted you to be able to see how to do that as well. So now I'm going to remove unique from the name. We'll keep the email unique, but there might be more than one person named Dave or David or any typical name could have a John, for example. Somebody could be named John, somebody else could be named John. So we don't want to make that one unique. So let's go ahead and apply a change to our model, and then let me show you what you have to do. Let's go ahead and open this back up. Next, enter now. Remove the name. Okay, it's complete. Let's close this now. Notice we should have a second migration here that I haven't opened yet. Unique. So essentially evaluated what we've previously done, and then it only executed the and our Neon Postgres database and service. So press enter, nest g service database, and press enter, and this should create our service file. Of course, it creates a testing file with it. So now we have our new database files. Okay, I'll close the terminal window, and let's get to work on the database. We have module, base module, and service. So I'm going to open the terminal window again, and we use some commands we have previously learned. We'll say nest g module database. Press enter.
Nest G module database. Oh, shiver me timbers. What the heck is a module? Okay.
This should create a database folder in our source directory, and there it is. And inside we should have a module, and we do. We also need a service, so let's say nest g service database and press enter, and this should create our service file. Of course, it creates a testing file with it. So now we have our new database.
So that's the test, and that's the
Files. Okay, I'll close the terminal window and let's get to work on the database module. So we have an imported module at the top that's already imported our database service. That's good. We have our providers as a database service, and then we have the export class database module. That's good. We also want an exports here as well. So let's say exports. Let's go ahead and pass in our database service that we have there.
right. Very knowledgeable. Fine.
And that's really all we need to add to this file. Now let's move on to the database service. Oh, one other thing I want to discuss. You may see this in some other tutorials where they add global up here. You can do that. That makes it available as long as you import it into at least the app module. You need to import your database service into at least one. As long as you do that, then putting global here will make it available everywhere. Say if you had lots of different places you need to put that in, many connected modules, that might be easier, but it's not the best design choice. And we're in the Nest.js docs, just so you don't take my word for it, on the global decorator that we see here, just like this at global symbol you see right there. And you can see how they use it here before a module. But as discussed, it says making everything global is not a good design decision. So it talks about when you might want to use it and when you might not. We're not going to use it today, but I wanted to bring it up because you might see it in some other tutorials. Just don't think you should use it everywhere. Okay, back in VS Code, let's look at our database service file. Here you can see it's very minimal as we start out. We've just brought in injectable as an import at the top. Let's also import on module init. After we have that import, we also need the Prisma client now. So let's import.
On module init, import Prisma client from
Import Prisma client. That's going to come from at Prisma/client. Okay, we have both imports that we need to add. After that, we just have export class database service. Well, here we need to add to this. It's going to extend, so we use the keyword extend Prisma client. So we get those Prisma types that we want to use.
Okay.
Implements on module init. And after on module init, we have our curly braces. Let's go ahead and wrap this down.
Implements
Next line. Inside the curly braces, we need to say async on module init, which we'll call it, and then add an extra async for you. I can get rid of.
What does on module init even do? Init and Next.js. Okay, what is the lifecycle even? Oh, it's this again the same C# thing, but okay, whatever. The life sequence. A Next.js application, as well as every application, has a lifestyle managed by Nest. Nest provides the lifecycle hook that given into a key. Lifecycle sequence is the phone diagram depicts the sequence of a key application lifecycle events. From the time application is bootstrapped until the process exits, we can divide all of the life cycles in three phases: initialization, running, and terminating. By the way, just so y'all know, I've been coding since 1 o'clock, so 1 in the morning, and it's gonna be 10 hours. Using this life cycle, you can plan for appropriate initialization of the modules and services, manage active connections, and gracefully shut down your application when it receives a termination signal. Next core boost for each module. Right. I still don't get what on module init does, but you know, let's just believe this guy. Yes.
Inside of that call, we're going to await this dot connect. We need to call
Okay. Whenever the application starts, again the lifecycle, whenever it bootstraps the controller, it's gonna connect to the database. Good. Hey, wait. This dot connect. Yes. I don't know how this dot connect works.
So So that's why this is async. We await the connection to Prisma, and this is our database service. So remember that we're using the await here to connect. So later when you see our methods inside of our employee service, you won't see the await there. You'll see an async as we call this, because we'll be calling Prisma. But here is where the await is as we await to connect. With our database module and service now created, we're now ready to start building our employees REST API. Now, I've taken the previous lessons to talk about how to build modules, how to build controllers, how to build services, and we did those one at a time, much like we did the module and the service for our database here. But what I'm going to show you now is how you can do all of that at once and create a REST API very quickly with Nest.js. So control backtick to open up the terminal once again. We're going to type nest g resource, and then what we want to name the resource, and this is going to be employees. I'll press enter.
Okay. Nest G source and user Marcel.
And let's see what happens. It's going to ask us what we want to create here, what transport layer do we use. This is going to be a REST API. And then we'll say, or it says, would you like to generate CRUD entry points? And we will say, why? For yes, press enter. And now we can see an employees folder over here. Let's close the terminal, take a look at what's inside. You can see it created our controller. Module and our service files. I've created all those already. We're not going to use the entities or the BTO file, although it did create them. And the reason we're not going to use those is because we'll be using the Prisma model that we already created and the types from Prisma. So I'll just delete both of those. But we do want these files for the controller, module, and service. Let's go to the module first. In the employees module, we need to go ahead and import our database module. So we will import, and after import, I should have pressed tab quite so quickly. Because we're going to put database module inside there. Okay, now that we have that import, let's add it to our module here. Imports, and we'll put our database module right in.
Wow. Yeah, I don't need these DDOs.
Inside, and of course a comment afterwards. That's all we need to change here inside of the employees module. So we've added our database module to it. Now let's look at the employees controller. And at the top of the employees controller, we deleted the DTOs. So we can delete both of those imports we had here from the DTOs that were automatically created. Now we need to import Prisma at the top. So we'll import Prisma, and that comes from Prisma client. So let's go ahead and put and then we'll have add Prisma/client. And now here you can see we have this create employee DTO that's not being used. Instead, we use the Prisma.employee create input. And that was created based on our model by Prisma when we did the migration, and of course generated every.
This just went over my head.
Everything that linked Prisma to our database. So this is using a type now, and we're using this instead of a DTO that we were.
Wow. that. Prisma.
Created in a separate file. Other than that, we're referring to this create employee detail essentially as the new employee here. It is created, and you can see that it says return this.employee service create. So we're going to have a create method inside of our service for this as well. But before we leave the controller, let's look at what else we have. And see, it started with the create here with a post method. So
I think I'm done for that. I think I need to work on that aspect, the Nest.js aspect. So why not start Go early? Yo, what's up, chat?
I'm a fitness influencer. Of course I flex before sex. Start without me, babe. My quads are looking amazing. I'm a fitness influencer. Of course I'm not fit. I'm a fitness influencer. Of course I'm on steroids. I'm a fitness influencer. I'm not in your way. You're a 9. I'm a fitness influencer. I prefer plates over dates. I'm a fitness influencer. I say I eat protein bars, but really I eat Kit Kats and Lindor chocolate. I'm a fitness influencer. Of course I sell supplements that you don't need. Code Greg, 15% off. I'm a fitness influencer.
Yo, let me ask you something. Need some advice.
I need to invest more time in Prisma. Why so? Why? But I think the tools are going to be nice. Let's leave that chapter closed for today. Let's focus on goal now. Oh, it can't be us actually. Goal actually. University of Bolton. Let's understand goal. Modules, access. No homie, I want. Golang. Oh, my brain's totally fried. Do I need to buy a course? Let's see if there's anything on it. One 35 hours. Imagine getting a sales course. Damn. That shit's gonna be crazy. right. Backend masterclass. I don't think I'm supposed to show this.
Right? The default username Postgres will be used. Similarly, the Postgres
So,
DB variable
what I will
allows us to
do is probably put it on this screen.
set the default database name,
Yeah.
which will be created when the container starts. Otherwise, the default database name will be the same as Postgres user. Alright,
Ubuntu.
now let's copy this command and paste it to the terminal. Now let's change the image name to Postgres 12 Api because we want to run this specific version of Postgres. For the password, I'm just gonna use secret to be simple. Then let's set the super username to root with this Postgres user environment variable. Now the name of the container. I'm gonna use Postgres 12. Finally, one important argument we must add to this command is a port map. What does that mean? Well, basically a Docker container is run in a separate virtual network, which is different.
Okay, so Docker run. Let's run this Postgres container. Is PG12.
Welcome back to the backend masterclass. The name of which is different from the host network.
What was that? I forgot.
So we cannot simply connect to the Postgres server running on port 5432 of the container network unless we tell Docker to create one kind of bridge between our local host network and the container's network. We do that by using the P flag, then specify the port of the host network.
You make a bridge between your local 5342 5432 entry point is
container and return its long unique ID. See here, this container ID is a short prefix of the long one that Docker returned in the previous command. Then the image name, Postgres with tab trail arpine. If we run Docker images, we can see the same image that we've pulled before with the docker pull command. There is several more information, such as the created time of the container or the status of the container, and the port mapping. As we might expect, is mapping port 5432 on localhost to the same port in the container.
So I'll go over what I'm gonna be doing is
We can set the password to connect to Postgres. Then the D flag is used to tell Docker to
Okay.
run this container in background
So-
or detect mode. Finally, the last argument is the name of the image, Postgres. If you're new to Docker, it's important to distinguish two terms, image and container. Basically, a container is one instance of the application container.
So we have, let's say, I'll explain what I'm doing right now. Right. Sketch. So if we have this image, Postgres, right? Yeah, we have Postgres 12, and this is going to be an image, but we can make multiple containers out of an image. So we can say, hey, I want one image to be called PG 12. I want another image to be called P 19. Call it anything. This is an image name.
Contained in the image, which is started by the docker run command. We can start multiple containers from one single image. We can also customize the container by changing some of its environment variables. For example, with the Postgres user variable, we can set the username of the super user to log into Postgres. If this is not specified, the default username Postgres will be used.
Oh, and by the way, I'll tell you
DB variable allows
where
us
am I
to
getting
set
all
a
of
default
this.
database name, which will be created when the container starts.
Postgres.
Otherwise, the default database name will be the same as Postgres user. Alright, now let's copy this command and paste it to the terminal. Now let's change the image name to Postgres 12 arpine because we want to run this specific version of Postgres. For the password, I'm just gonna use secret to be simple. Then let's set the super username to root with this Postgres user environment.
Yeah, so
Variable. Now the name of the container.
I'll show you how to run a Docker image. So Docker ps nothing. Docker image. These are all the images I have. have a Postgres 12 some of my C# images. But let's clear this. So I'll say docker run name pg. Let's call it pg12 actually, and say p.
I'm going to use Postgres 12. Finally, one important argument we must add to this command is a
Yeah, so to add custom things like Postgres user is root, that's default. Postgres pass. And then we say which container. This is Postgres 12 and fine.
the port mapping. What does that mean? Which is different from the host network that we are on. So we cannot simply connect to the Postgres server running on port 5432 of the container network, unless we tell Docker to create one kind of bridge between our local host network and the container's network. We do that by using the p flag, then specify the port of the host network, followed by a colon, then the corresponding port of the container. They don't necessarily be the same, but I often use the same port to make it easier to remember. Now when we press enter, Docker will start the Postgres container and return its long unique ID. We can list all running containers with docker ps command. As you can see here, this container ID here's the syntax that then the D flag is used to tell Docker to run this container in background or detect mode. Finally, the last object import user. Alright, now let's copy this command and paste it to the terminal. Now let's change the image name to Postgres 12 Alpine because
Yeah.
we want to run this specific version of Postgres. For the password, I'm just going to use secret to be simple. Then let's set the simple username to root. With this Postgres user, let's click this button to and click run current button, or simply press command enter. The result will show up in the below section. Now let's open the simple bank SQL file that we've generated in the previous lecture. Then select all queries in this file and press command enter.
Okay, I gotta look for the SQL file there. Hell yeah, I found the file.
This says the Postgres console, and we use a U flag here to tell PSQL that we want to connect with the root user. And voila, we are now inside the Postgres console. One thing you might notice,
Okay, so that's running, right? So Docker, we can say Docker execute at pg12. Yes, we're in the root.
here is Postgres doesn't ask for password, although we've set it when running the container. is because by default, the Postgres container sets up a trust authentication locally, so password is not required when connecting from localhost. Okay, now we can try a simple query, such as select now to get the current tab.
Need some advice.
Advice for.
Links to all resources in the
Here, controller simply
So we're not using Express, we're using Nest now. Delete everything.
The bank SQL file that we've generated in the previous.
Need some advice.
Advice more.
Right.
Let's click this button to download it. Then open the installer and drag Table Plus to the Applications folder. Now let's open the app. There are no DB connection yet, so let's create a new one. There are many database engine options, but in our case, we use PostgreSQL. Now we enter the name of the connection. I'm going to call it PostgreSQL. The host is localhost, and the port is 5432 by default. The username is root, and the password is secret, as we configured when running the Postgres container. The default database name is root, same as the username, since we didn't explicitly configure it when starting the container. Okay, let's click test to test the connection, all green. So now we can click connect to connect to the database server. Everything is empty at the moment because we haven't created the schema yet. But we can still run some queries by clicking on this SQL icon. Let's try select now and click run current button, or simply press command enter. The result will show up in the below section. Now let's open the simple bank SQL file that we've generated in the previous lecture. Then select all queries in this file and press command enter to run them. All successful. Now when we press command R to rip up in the below section. Now let's open the simple bank SQL file that we've generated in the previous lecture. Then select all queries in this file and press command enter to run them. All successful. Now when we press command R to refresh, green. So now we can click connect to connect to the database server. Everything is empty at the moment because we haven't created the schema yet. But we can still run some queries by clicking on this SQL icon. Let's try select now and click run current button, or simply press command enter. The result will show up in the below section. Now let's open the simple bank SQL file that we've generated in the previous lecture. Then select all queries in this file and press command enter to run them. All successful. Now when we press command R to refresh, then select all queries in this file and press command enter to run them. All successful. Now when we press command R to refresh,
Okay, hover over every single thing. Control R.
Three tables will show up on the left: account, entries, and transfers. We can click on their names to see the data, or select the structure tab to see their schema structure. There are a lot of useful information, such as the column name, data type, default value, foreign key, is nullable or not. Looks like some foreign key columns are now nullable, which is not really what we want, because every entry or transfer must link to their account. So let's go to dbdiagram.io to fix this. I'm gonna add not now constraint to the account ID column of entries table. And the from account.
So the transfer is supposed to be
ID and two account ID columns of transfers table. Then export to PostgreSQL. Now let's remove the old file. Injecting for the foreign key through all of non-duty, and all tables will be gone. Okay, now let's select all queries in this new schema SQL file and run them. Refresh. Okay, often have to do throughout the application lifetime to adapt to new business requirements. In this lecture, we will learn how to write and run database schema migration in Golang. For that, we're going to use Golang Migrate library. This library works with many different database
Okay, yeah, we're not quitting, bro. We're not quitting. We're gonna do this shit. Ubuntu. Docker. What was it last time? I need to learn Docker. Docker execute it pg12 root, yeah, psql u and root. Docker ps first of all. Yeah, what was the issue? Perfect. We got 3 tables. Clear. Exit this. Yay. That's that. Git bash cd. Fingers. Actually, let's here. Okay, so this is how it's gonna go. I'm never ever gonna learn the nest or whatever. I'm gonna focus on Go. I'm gonna make in Next or Rust. Express. Yeah, and for the programming language for like heavy scale, it's gonna be C#. I know decent enough C# to make a API or a background service. I do need to learn gRPC. Bank service cd bank. Right, let's follow this.
Engines like Postgres, MySQL, Mongo, or Cockroach. Let's open this CLI documentation to see how to install it. I'm on a Mac, so I will use Homebrew. Let's open the terminal. Throughout the application lifetime to adapt to new business requirements. In this lecture, we will learn how to write and run database schema migration in Golang. For that, we're going to use Golang Migrate library. This library works with many different database engines, like Postgres, MySQL, Mongo, or Cockroach. Let's open this CLI document